Hello, hello, hello. Y'all, we're just waiting for people to get in the room and then we're going to get started. This is let people get in the room. If this is the first time you've been in a live stream with me, my name is Fro, and what I do is I create Pedals to Wives. We are women that live the life of our desires. So we're going to get into creating mysterious juju as a feminine woman. Okay, there you are, YouTube. Welcome to the party. So, thank you, Pedals to Wives. Let me just give a big shout out to my support system because if without you all, this will be nothing. This community would be nothing without the Pedals to Wives. The Pedals to Wives, thank you, thank you, thank you for hitting that button. Thank you for spending time with me on YouTube and Instagram. Thank you all for wanting to hear what I have to say because I'm just one person and I just appreciate you so much. So let's get into creating mysterious juju as a feminine woman. One of the first things we need to recognize and realize is that men love puzzles. Men love trying to put everything together, put the pieces together. And what women do is they mess up by giving them all of the pieces. Your blueprint, and I'm going to mention blueprint throughout this entire live. So I want my new followers and new people who are watching my streams to understand what blueprint is. Your blueprint is who you are. It is what makes you you. It is your memories, it is your thoughts, it is your hobbies, it's your dislikes, it's your likes. It is pretty much your programming. It is who you are and what makes you you. That is what your blueprint is. So when men discover a woman who is a mystery, when men discover a woman who is a mystery, the first thought is, first thing to activate is being curious, being a curious man. That's what activates. And being a curious man will also inspire pursuit. So when women are giving every bit of their blueprint away, put all of their cards on the table, tell him everything that happened to him in their past, everything that's currently happening, all their dreams, all their wishes, all the things they need in life, they're giving their blueprint away. There is no mystery. There's no curiosity. And then there's no pursuit. And you don't even know you're doing it, especially if you have that connection. Y'all know, y'all big on these connections. Y'all big on vibing with a person, talking with a person. And you feel like you got to just tell everything. But what we're going to do here today, we're going to talk about how to stay mysterious. And I'm going to give you some tips that I personally use as a married woman. So you can continue to stay mysterious because you want to keep that air mystery about you. You want to keep that, I don't know what she's thinking. I don't know what she's going to do. You should be somewhat unpredictable in the relationship, not so unpredictable that he's thinking, oh, she cheating. She over there busting open wide for someone else. That's not what we're going for. This is the reason why affirmation and compliments go a long way when you're trying to stay a mysterious woman. One of the first things I can give you that I use is I use fewer words, which means I have the habit of when I'm giving, even if I'm relaying a story, I don't expand on that story. I wait until someone says, hey, you're not going to say anything else. And then I may or may not give any more information. I have learned to use fewer words when I'm telling a story or when I'm having a conversation with someone, especially with my husband. I definitely use fewer words because I want to be curious about what happened next. I want to know what happened next. This is how you maintain your mystery, This is how you maintain this illusion that he doesn't know who you are. Even though most time, if he connects with you on that shared background, shared values, shared morals, he knows who you are. He knows the core person of you, but he still wants to be like, okay, there's still some piece, something that I just can't explain it. I just can't explain. You want your man to kind of view as such, not as a woman who's disloyal, a woman who's cheating, a woman who's busting it open wide to another man. That is not what we're trying to go for. We're just trying to go for mystery. We're just trying to make sure he's curious about who we are and what we're doing and what we're thinking. You want him to be in that place in the relationship. If he's not in that place in the relationship, he gets bored. Okay. You don't want a man that's bored in a relationship. You just don't. Another thing that you need to do is be humble. Be humble yet confident. Be humble. When I say be humble, don't go bragging about everything. Some women are just leading with all their accomplishments and bragging about everything. When you brag about your accomplishments, that's not being humble. You can be confident without being, braggadocious. You can be confident without trying to have your nose in the air. Men love humble women. There's nothing wrong with being humble. There's just like, think about it like this. If you're on a date with a man and he doesn't even know, let's say you're in a date, maybe it's in your restaurant, you own the restaurant. Not, you know what, you own the restaurant. Let's say you own the restaurant. You never put any indicator that you own the restaurant. He finds out later on that you own the place that they had lunch at, or a place that they had coffee at. And he's like, oh my gosh, it's going to intrigue him. He's going to wonder why you didn't let him know off gate that you own that place. You were super humble, but confident. Another thing that I do, I have the tendency to suggest an activity that my husband would think that I would never want to do. And you all, I am super demure and super feminine. So he doesn't think I'm going to do anything active. So when I suggest something that is out of his, range of ideas that I'm going to come up with for activity, it throws him off. And it's meant to. It's meant to for him to not know everything that I like to do and don't like to do. And one of the things I do, even if I do suggest an activity that I normally wouldn't do, I normally drop it. I don't sit here and continue with the activity. So he has in his mind that I do. He has in his mind, what I've noticed is he thinks I just try stuff and then I dump it. But that's not necessarily the case. I do this because I want to make sure I continue the mystery. That is, in order to keep that mystery going, when you've been in a relationship for 20 years, you have to do some creative things. So suggest an activity that he wouldn't think that you want to do. Let's say, for instance, you're a girly girl and you say, hey, let's go paintballing. He's like, okay, paintballing? Is she really want to go and paintball? This is the same girl that wearing makeup, that has on high heels, wears a dress every single day, and she talking about going paintballing. That's going to throw him off, because usually what happens is men are starting to build a profile in their head about what you don't like, what you do like, what kind of hobbies you have. But when you throw a wrench in it and he starts getting more curious, oh, okay, well, I don't have this girl figured out completely. That is what you want. That is the mystery of it all. That's keeping that mysterious juju going and flowing. And you're going to need that throughout the relationship, because as long as he has a curiosity about what you're thinking, what you're feeling, y'all, as long as he can't tell everything you're thinking and feeling, he's going to be more curious about what's going on up in your head. He's going to be more curious about, what are you doing? What is she thinking about? How does she feel about this? And he'll be more talkative also to find the information out, if you're not giving it all away all at one time. This goes into being a mysterious feminine woman. Another thing that I love to do is I love to tell him a secret, but not the whole thing. So I might say, well, this happened in 7th grade, and I might not expand on it. I'm not going to give any more details. And even when he does ask, can I have more information? I'm like, well, I'm not comfortable with talking about that right now. And maybe that secret might come out later on. This is holding your cards close to your chest. You don't have to give everything away. Remember, we're going for being mysterious. We're going for we want to pique his curiosity about how we think and how we feel, and how we, what we dislike and what we like. And that's how you're going to be able to do that throughout the relationship, is by doing things like this. The next tip is have a life. I can't say this enough. Have your own life, have a social life, go on the girl vacations with your friends, go on lunch dates with your friends, have a life outside of your relationship. That is going to make sure that you keep that mysterious juju around you. And he's going to be curious about, where do you spend your time at? Especially if you're not one of those ones, if you're using my tactic of using fewer words, you're not expanding on your day. You're like, well, I had a great day, and that's it. Some women, we give way too much. We tell too much. We want to paint a picture for a person. And I need you to stop painting pictures. I need you to stop explaining your day and trying to make him feel like he was there, because we're going for like a more mysterious juju. We're going for that mysterious air about us. So he's going to be curious about what we're doing. A man cannot be curious about what you're doing if you're telling your day-to-day life. If you're telling him, I went to A, then I went to B, and then I went to C, he can't be curious about it, because you put all your cards on the table. You want to make sure, this is super important. Women don't understand how important mysterious juju is, because of the fact that men get bored. They get bored. When they have you figured out, they love puzzles, right? So when they get you and they get the puzzle of you, they figure out your blueprint. They know how you're going to respond to things. They know what they can and cannot do. You want to be unpredictable. That is part of being mysterious. But also remember, I've given tips on how you need to balance it out to be mysterious, but so he doesn't see you as disloyal also. There's a balance to that. You need to be aware of it. You don't want to go overboard to the point where he's like, okay, she cheating on me. She busting open wide to somebody. I don't know who. I can't trust her. We don't want to do that. But we want to take it far enough where he's like, oh, I don't know what she's thinking. I don't know how she's going to react. A lot of times men do things and try you and test you because they know how you're going to react. You've already taught them that. The next tip is a biggie, is don't make your husband your best friend. Your husband was never meant to be your best friend. Every time I see women posting about my husband is my best friend, I pretty much do not take her as a valid source of information, because I know that if he is your best friend, he didn't want to marry another man. That is not his intent. When you're in a feminine and masculine relationship, you want that polarity, you want that contrast, you want that juiciness for being different. Differences drive relationships, and keeping that mysterious juju about yourself is going to keep him curious and keep him chasing and pursue. When your man loses curiosity about you, there is no pursuit. Why would he? He knows everything. He can just sit on the couch and drink a beer. He doesn't have to figure out where his wife is, what she's doing, what she's thinking, how she's feeling. Should I be trying to date her? Should I go get some flowers? He doesn't have to do anything. Why would he? You've given him the cards. You give him the answers to the test. This is the reason why don't make your husband hit your best friend. Have a best friend. Have a girlfriend that you can kiki with. Have a girlfriend that you can have conversations back and forth. Have a girlfriend. I always advocate for having core friends that you can absolutely trust, that have your best interest at heart. But don't make your husband as your best friend, because you're going to kill the curiosity in him. And when you kill the curiosity in him, you kill the pursuit in him. And you don't want to kill the pursuit, especially if you want long-term, you're looking for longevity in the relationship. You don't want to ever kill the pursuit. You do not want to kill the romance of your relationship. And that's what happens when women try to make their men their best friends. Don't be predictable. Okay. Do not be predictable. Do not wear your emotions on your sleeves. Be unpredictable. And when I say be unpredictable, I'm also referring to being your nonverbal cues. A lot of us don't realize, a lot of times when I'm around other women, I can read their entire expressions. I can read if they're happy, if they're sad, if they're mad, if they're glad. I can read all of that from their faces. Being mysterious, having an air of mysterious juju, being predictable, him being able to read your nonverbal clues is everything. So learn to, have a little bit of aloofness, but with a smile. Have a little bit of aloofness with a smile. And reason why I say add a smile to it, because you don't want to be like your mean monkey. Women don't understand there's a difference. You can look at your face, but okay, she's so mad. You don't want to look mad, but you want to kind of look aloof. And the reason you want that aloofness about yourself is because you do want him to be thinking, what is she thinking? What is she thinking? What is she, fantasizing about? You want to inspire that in a man. The reason it is so important, the reason curiosity is so important in a man is because curiosity for a man drives fantasies. His fantasies, and you want to be have the starting lead in that fantasy. If you want that, you need that mysterious juju. That's going to give it to you. But if you don't have it, you're not the starring lead of his fantasies. He's not thinking about, okay, he's not daydreaming about what she might do in this situation, or what she might say in this situation, or what she might react in that situation. That is when you're starting his fantasies. But when you take the mysterious juju, you give all of your blueprint, you put all your cards on the table, there's nothing to fantasize about. He knows you completely. He knows exactly how you're going to react to something. He knows how you're going to, what you're going to do next. He knows even who you're going to talk next when you're upset, because he knows everything about you. So don't be basic Betty. Don't be basic Becky by being triggered by everything. You want to know how to throw a guy out, how to keep your mysterious juju? Don't react like everyone else reacts. Don't give him the emotional reaction that he's used to from other women. That is how you keep mysterious juju. Just like if you're one of those ones, every time he doesn't call, you have a reaction. You want to sit here and call him, cuss him out, text him, call him multiple times, leave voicemails over and over and over on his phone, talking about, oh, well, you didn't call me. He's used to that. That's basic Becky behavior. And being basic Becky is not going to lead to mysterious juju. There's no curiosity when a man can pinhole you as things that women do. Because in men's mind, he creates profile of the things you will and will not do. You always want to have a question mark in that place. You want to be unpredictable. This means you're not basic Becky. This means he can't pull out the handbook of other women and say, okay, this is something women always do. She's just reacting just like a woman. You've heard that before. Like men be like, oh, she's just reacting just like a woman. But if you're not, and you're not reacting just like other women, you're not basic Becky, he's going to pause a second. He's going to be like, okay, all right, I didn't call her, and she didn't call me. She didn't text me. She didn't blow my phone up. I'm wondering what's going on here. Let me call her. Let me find out what's going on in her world. You want to inspire curiosity. That is what it is. Being mysterious juju really is not about the game. It's not really about the game. It's inspiring curiosity in a man so that he will pursue. Because as long as he's curious about you, a man will always pursue. A man will always come for you. He won't come for you if he's not curious. And the reason he's not curious, you have given him everything. You've put all your cards on the table. You've made all of your blueprint known. There's nothing else to learn. And another thing is just stop being an open book. Stop telling everything. Stop putting all your cards on the table. Stop telling all of your past traumas, your triggers, your family situations. Stop telling everything. Stop being an open book. And you'll see a big difference in how a man pursues you. Because really, when it comes down to it, we want him to pursue. But you have to inspire curiosity for that to happen. And women don't realize that you're killing the curiosity when you give everything away. And that's what it's all about. So we want to continue to inspire mysterious juju. One of the things another thing you can do, another tactic is get him talking. Focus on giving him open-ended questions. Get him talking about himself. You want him to continue talking about himself. One, not only to learn information, because remember, dating is not just for fun. Dating is for information because we are dating with a purpose. We're dating to get married. We're dating to have a long-term relationship. We're not dating just willy-nilly. So when you're dating, it is for informational. This means you're asking him open-ended questions to get him talking. And when he leaves dates with you, he needs to have the feeling of, oh, okay, I really don't know nothing about her. She really didn't answer any of my questions. Remember, I've taught you how to, revert and, get that question and turn it back on him so that he's answering questions about himself, but you're not giving anything away. So let me go ahead and stop for a second because I have some more. Because in order to be mysterious, remember, the goal is to inspire curiosity in him. As long as he's curious about you, he's going to want to pursue. As long as he's curious about you, he's going to want to know more about you. He's going to want to see if he can dig beneath the veil of the woman. If your man isn't trying to pursue you, he's not trying to find out more about you. He's not trying to give you those phone calls to figure out, okay, what is she doing? How was her day? Then he's not curious. And the reason he's not curious and he's not wanting to pursue is because he knows everything. You've given him the entire blueprint of you. There's nothing else to learn. All right, so let me see what everybody is saying. Y'all, this is the perfect time to drop questions. And then like I said, I have some more. I'm going to give you some more tactics you can use. Great topic. Thank you. Hey, Pedestal Wife. Good to see you in the building. Bye, babe. My husband is always calling me his best friend. He's always saying we're best friends, but I'm in my feminine energy, always getting the results. He spoke of him digging and chasing. Absolutely. You all, guess what? It's okay if he says you are his best friend. It's okay if he says that. It's okay if he sees that. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. It's actually a good place to be. All right. But the thing is, it's one thing to say it. It's another thing to act on it. So you can even say it, but as long as you're not acting on it. What I keep seeing is a promotion of it being for it to be a happy relationship. And I'm telling you, when you want the years, you want the longevity, you want the happy, you want the juiciness, you want the energy, you want this attraction. You don't want it to be dead before you're 5. So most of us in here, right? We want happy marriages and longevity in that marriage and long-term marriages. We don't want marriages that are dead by year 5. We don't want marriages that he's like, okay, I'm over her already. I know everything about her. There's nothing else to pursue. So just because he's saying you're his best friend, nothing wrong with that. That's actually a good place to be. Thoughts? Okay, I answered that question already. All right, so let me get to this. How to create the curiosity after 14 years and doing some of the mistakes of telling me everything, blowing up his phone, etc. You're gonna have to switch your game. What you normally do, you're gonna have to switch it up. There's some things. I did a video not too long ago when I talked about how I stopped being prey in my marriage. That is the perfect video for that, because I'm married, y'all. I've been married 20 years. I'll be married 21 in August. And I realized that, okay, I made this mistake. I started really talking too much. I started giving away too much. There wasn't nothing to learn, and there was no curiosity. It's not like it is now, where he is actually curious about what am I doing. And a lot of times he's like, you want to go with me? You want to ride with me? You want to go here? You want to go there? I'm like, no, I don't want to go there. I don't want to go here. You know, just because he invites me everywhere don't mean I want to go. You know, I make sure to say no sometimes. But if you have made that mistake and you're 14 years in, you can still change and pivot. This means what you need to do, look at the things that you told him about yourself and start changing it up. Go ahead and start getting the different hobbies, meet different women and start going on lunch dates with them. Start getting involved in different things in your life and change it up. That's all you need to do, switch and pivot and what you're doing currently in your life and in your marriage currently, so he can see the change and start, being a lot more confident with him. And you can also start using fewer words. When you're talking to him, instead of constantly going on your normal, let me expand the story, let me paint the picture for him, don't do it. Say, hey, well, she dropped off. Let me give you an example. For instance, usually what women do when something happens in their life, you want to talk about everything that Carla and Glory or whoever else did at the job. You want to give them a pet playback of everything that happened. Don't do that anymore. What you want to do, if you've done it before and you want to reverse the effects of that, just be like, make sure it's one sentence less, only one sentence, that period. Like, well, the office was great today. That's it. And let's see if that jogs him to say, hey, did anything else happen? And just say no. And one of the things that I use in order to help myself keep into a place of using fewer words, I tend to lean towards yes or no, and I don't explain. This is the reason why I'm trying to get my ladies to get to the habit of not explaining, because when you get into the habit of not explaining, you don't have the push to expand to a man about your day or paint a picture. You don't have that push to constantly be trying to tell him everything if you're used to just saying yes or no. That's one of my tricks. I say yes or no. When he asks me a question, I don't expand on it. I just be like yes or no. And I stick there. And if he asks for more, I choose. You can decide to. You're going to have to learn to use your intuition when it's a good time to actually give more and when to hold back. Because it's just like when you're playing cards. I don't play cards, but it's just like when you play cards and you have to sit here and look at your hand to see when it's time to actually throw a card out. That's how you're going to have to do it marriage. That's how you're going to have to know, okay, I done gave too many cards. I got too many cards on the table. I'm losing money. I'm losing too much. It's time for me to start picking those cards back or winning those cards back. And it's how you have to view everything. So I'm not going to say that every single time you need to just stick with saying yes or no. I'm saying choose your times. It's all about timing. If he's consistent in asking, let's say normally he doesn't ask for explanation of your day. He doesn't even concern with himself about asking how your day was. Some of y'all are at that place in your relationship where he doesn't even ask you how your day was. And that's because of the fact, why would he concern himself about your day if he's no longer curious? Curious men pursue. This is the reason mysterious juju is so important. You have to keep that about yourself. It doesn't matter if you're married 14 years, 10 years, 5 years, 15 years, 20 years, or 21, like I'm about to be. You need to keep that mysterious juju. It's important. Men only care about the puzzles in their lives, not the things that are just like at face value. Remember, y'all gotta remember, men don't like things easy. Men don't like things easy. They like to work for it. And they should always be working and earning you. And earning you is a part of pursuing. Pursuing you is a part of finding out How was your day? Pursuing is a part about, hey, do you want to go on vacation? How many of your men have decided, hey, you want to go on vacation because they want to connect with you because you're busy. You have a life. You have a life outside of your marriage. So he wants to connect with you. So you're going on vacation, which is what I'm going to do very soon. How many times has your man said, let's go on vacation or let's go on a date night? I want to spend time with you. If your man isn't doing these things, it's probably because of the fact he's no longer curious about you anymore. And if you've done and make the mistakes that I've talked about, you can reverse it. You can absolutely reverse it. You have to realize that change is hard. It's going to take some time. You're going to have to catch yourself when you're wanting to explain or when you want to, paint that picture for him and let him know all the details. You're going to have to get used to using fewer words because women, ladies, pedestal wives, women don't use fewer words. We actually use more than men. So that's going to be actually intriguing when he gets around a woman who uses fewer words, who doesn't want to paint a picture. And if he's used to that too, you just start backing down. Start backing down, giving those painting that picture, stop backing down, trying to explain yourself. And that's going to help you get that mysterious juju. Believe me, you can, just because you've made the mistakes, don't mean you can't correct them. It may take some time because change doesn't happen overnight, but it can happen. All right, so let me look over here and see what YouTube pedestal wives are saying. Hi, Brill. What are your thoughts on how we should conduct ourselves on social media? Should men be on your social media? If so, how much does a woman create mystery, intrigue on these platforms? On social media, I would actually say back away from it. And the reason I say that because social media is the avenue where people are telling their life story. I would say back away from it while you're dating because you don't want him to go to your social media and find out more about you than what you're giving him. So I would back away from it and I wouldn't put so much on social media so he can't find anything out about me on social media. So back away from it if you are dating because people, the where we're at now, in the age of technology, it's so easy to Google someone and find their social media pages and look at that information and see who you dated prior. And another rule that we must start implementing: no men on social media pages. If you're not married, he shouldn't be on your social media page. I don't care if he's your boyfriend. One of the things is, some a pedestal wife sent me some information. It was like, okay, a woman was complaining because the guy wouldn't put her on his social media, but they're dating, their boyfriend and girlfriend. Y'all know I hate that term and I hate those titles, but you shouldn't want him up there either. You shouldn't want him up there, period. Because what if this doesn't go any further and you start dating someone else and that boyfriend is on your social media page? And yes, you can delete it, but guess what? What I've learned about technology, even if you delete something, it is still available. It's still out there somewhere. You can't completely erase something you put out there. So since you can't do that, don't put any men on your social media unless he's your husband. When he's your husband, then he has access to the social media. If he's not your husband, no, he never goes on your social media. This way, when you're dating, if you have to say, okay, this is not working out, I have to say bye to you, no one can go back and find that past information of you and that guy on your social media. So keep your social media clean. This is about the mysterious juju. It's important. That's a very good question, Pedestal Wife. Thank you for that question, because that's going to make sure that he doesn't get to learn about you before you tell him. I agree. I got almost immediate results with using few words, and he doesn't even know what happened. He has been confused ever since. He doesn't even know what happened. Absolutely. Y'all, the fewer words works. The fewer nonverbal cues work. Put those in tandem, and you've created the perfect mysterious woman. When she uses fewer words, she doesn't have any nonverbal cues that he can kind of pick up on. She has a smile on her face because, you want to be open enough that you have an aloofness about yourself. And it works because he's trying to figure out what's going on with you. And it's the perfect tactic that's not being talked about online. It's the perfect tactic for mysterious juju. If you want a guy to pursue you, even if you're currently married and you start using fewer words and you stop, like, everything should show in your face. Okay. You don't want no wrinkles either, but nothing should be showing your face. Nothing at all. If you're happy, mad, sad, glad, nothing. You can smile because you want to be, open. But he should be able to, he's going to be wondering, okay, why is she smiling? What is she thinking about? And then don't even take the time and just take a moment and just laugh and haven't said a word. And he's gonna be like wanting to know more about your thoughts. Some of y'all are trying to get this man to figure out, you're trying to figure out how to get him to want to know more about you. This is how. Mysterious juju is the best weapon that you have, the best tactic, the best strategy, the best game that I can give you to get a man to want to know more about you. But you have to learn not to put all your cards on the table. You have to learn not to tell everything. Every thought shouldn't be communicated. And this is one reason why I'm big. I've already posted it on my Instagram once before where I talk about every thought should not be communicated, because social media has become a place of opinions and people want to just have their voices heard. But you don't realize that when you're in the process of dating, mating, and marrying, that you don't want that happening for you, because you don't want your voice being heard online before you actually speak your truth. Your truth is being told to you, been told to others online, either it's in a false or true way. And you have to think about that. So social media is super important about keeping your mysterious juju to yourself. So very great question, Pastor White. Thank you so much for that one. Queen, haha. Okay, let me see here. Move on. I think y'all talking to each other. I only put an emoji in a rare quote that suits you. My husband has full access, but he's never snooped that I know of. Is it okay? That is fine. Y'all know it's fine for your husband to have full access, because my information wouldn't be there anyway. My information for me, everything that makes Braille is here. That's where it's at. So it doesn't matter if he has access to my social media, because he's only going to find my business, which is my quote page, and my community and my YouTube and all that stuff. He's not going to find anything that's Braille. Braille is here. And this is the reason why I release the information. I have total control of the information when it's here instead of online or on my social media somewhere. This reason, take control of your social media. Stop letting the entire world into your business. I totally agree. Ooh, y'all, I gotta click that over. Sorry. I totally agree. No men on social media. I see so many novice women use social media wrong while dating. Everyone is in their business. And when you break up, everyone knows. They use the spy, make each other jealous. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I know if you're dating this wonderful guy, you want to let the world know. Don't. Resist. Resist the urge to let everybody know about your wonderful relationship, because you do not want that on your social media. You do want him. And then also, since most women, just like that pedestal wife on YouTube pointed out, want their men on social media, you can be the oddball. This means you're not going to be basic Becky. You're not going to sit here and be trying to get him on your social media. You're not going to be trying to cop a picture to put him in, put the picture on social media so you can say, hey, I got me a relationship. I got me a man. You're going to be different. And he's going to wonder, why isn't she wanting me to be on social media? That's going to be the ultimate question for him, because it's going to be different from what other women are doing. If you want to be unique, okay, you want to keep your mysterious juju, you want to intrigue, you want to inspire curiosity. Don't be like other women. Don't be like everybody else. Women don't even recognize you. Everybody has a unique personality, right? Everybody has a unique personality, unique quirks that's just for them. But when you follow the crowd, it no longer makes you unique. And following the crowd is everybody posting their man on social media. I have my husband on social media, but before that, I never had anyone else on social media. And I'm kind of happy that I'm not one of those, since I'm older, I wasn't raised around the social media era where everything is put out there in the first place. Right. So that is the main thing that I have. If you take these tips, it's going to help you create a mysterious juju as a feminine woman. And you want to keep that. No matter how long you've been in a relationship with your man, you want to make sure you keep that mystery about yourself. As long as he has a curiosity about you, he will pursue. He will always pursue. As long as he doesn't truly know, like your reactions, what you did, you can give pieces of yourself to him, but it's all about timing. Make sure you tap into your intuition to determine what is the right time to do so. Don't give everything. Don't overwhelm him. Don't put all your cards on the table. Don't tell him all your triggers. Don't tell him all your insecurities, and then be wondering why he's no longer interested, why he's no longer curious. Why should he be curious? He knows everything. So this is a great time. We don't have any other questions. I'm going to call it a day. All right. So tomorrow we're going to talk about is being unbothered the same as being confident. And then I'm going to give some tips on how to be an unbothered pedestal wife. I'm going to teach you how to balance that out. He said that I am self-centered. Okay, if a man is calling you self-centered, that is because of the fact you probably didn't affirm him. If you affirm a man, and usually y'all affirming a man is very simple. You do not have to go around the bend with the affirmations. When you're affirming a man, all you have to say is I appreciate you or thank you. That is all. That's all he's looking for. If a man is saying you're self-centered, that means you didn't affirm him. And you probably need to backtrack and say, hey, thank you. I appreciate everything you do. You can say, hey, I'm not sure why you think I'm self-centered. I really appreciate all the things you do for me. That's all you need to say. There's no more than that, because that's probably what happened. I'm quite sure, 100% sure that's what happened when you're referred to as self-centered. All right, so this next thing, let's see what Pedestal Wife on YouTube is saying. I think I think it's funny how my bio says married, but people still find out my husband isn't white too. So practice on your media, people. Absolutely, absolutely nothing wrong with that mystery. People need to be guessing on your life. That's the reason, y'all, I keep privacy. I'm a very private person. You won't ever catch me up here like flaunting money or flaunting things that my husband purchased me or flaunting something somebody gave me. The reason I don't do that is because I'm very private. And I don't want, even when it comes to my community, you don't need to know everything about me. You just need to know I got game. Absolutely have game. And I've been able to apply to get the things I want 20 years in, going on 21. Dolly Parton has been married for 54 years. She said it lasts because she keeps this, and for her and her husband, they are still in love. Yes, absolutely. I am still a woman that goes on separate vacations from my husband. I don't go on vacations with him all the time, and he doesn't go on vacation with me all the time. We make sure that we have our separate lives. So when we get together, there's a lot to talk about. Y'all know there's nothing to talk about if you're always in each other's face. There's nothing to talk about if y'all are in each other's ear. This is the reason why, even when you're getting ready to go on a date, don't constantly talk to him. Why are you talking to him? Have something to talk about on the date. Don't be sitting here constantly texting. Get him off that phone. Matter of fact, get him off the phone so he wants to go on a date with you in the first place. But that's keeping your mysterious juju, using few words. If you use few words while you're on the phone with a man, he's gonna be like, okay, you must be busy. You can be, that's your out right there. Yes, I'm super busy. How about this? When we see each other on a date, we have a lot to talk about. We talk about it then. I do that all the time. I don't necessarily have to, if I barely use my phone other than for business, because I don't talk to anybody on the phone like that. And I have a husband. I don't talk to him like that on the phone either. I make sure that we have like our brief conversations, because if I sit here and we have long, drawn out conversations on the phone, what is there to talk about when we get together? This reason why when we get together, it's like he's talking and talking and talking and talking. We're always having a discussion. Men talk just as much as women do. The reason your man isn't talking to you is because you don't allow him to. Men absolutely want to talk. They gossip just like women. My husband tell me everything, all the juicy tidbits that be going on in the office. I know about all of it. He doesn't keep those secrets from me. Okay, so what are your thoughts on having your own space, man cave, ladies' room in your home, or separate bedrooms or quarters? Baby, I have one. I have one. I truly do believe he deserves a space of his own that's his, and I deserve a space of my own that's mine. This is where I can go in and I can meditate. I can look at emails. I can look at something foolish and laugh a little bit before I have to do any type of work. But yes, I believe women need to have their own space where you can just, connect with yourself to make sure that you are in line with what you want. A lot of women, you're too busy. This is the reason why I prefer the easy life. Having an easy life has maybe been able to tap into myself so I know what bro wants. I don't concern myself with everybody else wants. They can want it, they can love it, they can, if you love it, I like it, whatever. But have a place where you can get in tune with self. So I absolutely co-sign that. I've actually mentioned that in prior videos. I love having a space that's mine, a space in the house that I can call my own, just to meditate and do whatever I want to do in that space. And of course, men have their man caves, right? So you can have your lady cave. Well, I don't like lady cave because lady caves is too masculine, you know. But yeah, you got to have that space. All right. I'm striving for that myself in the area of house that's his and my own space as long-term goal. Absolutely. Every woman on this live, you need a space for yourself. You need a space where you can actually connect with your thoughts because women are too busy today. In this society, y'all are taught to go, 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 always keep busy, always doing something. Let me tell you this. If I haven't connected with self and I really need that connection to figure out something's bothering me, there's nothing going on. Everything's stopping until I can get that connection and understand what direction, what decision I need to make. It's super important that you be in tune with yourself so you can make good decisions for the things that you want in your life. If you don't do that, you're going to be making decisions based off what everybody else wants and not what you want. My husband talks my ear off on the phone. And I say my questions for later, stuff like that. So what makes you say that? And boom, he giving out blueprint and I've been saving what I have to say for later. That's important. If he wants to talk, let him talk, y'all. Let a man talk. When I'm talking about mysterious juju, I'm talking about you. I'm talking about you. I'm talking about you doing this. That's what I'm talking about. If your man gets on the phone and he wants to talk, let him do his thing. Let him do his thing. Okay. Because I guarantee you he'll have something else to talk about. A lot of times when a man is on the phone, I found that if he's on the phone with me, he's normally talking about something that happened at work. And then when he's at home, he's talking about something that he wants to do for himself. So the conversation changes and pivots. So it's okay if he wants to talk. But if you feel like that y'all are not able to communicate when he gets home and he has nothing else to say, then just cut it off at the knees. Be like, okay, well, I'm busy with the baby. I have to go. Then you can do that. But if it's not doing that and he knows how to switch that conversation to something else when he gets home, let him talk. Because you're getting all that valuable, juicy information. Y'all, when you're married, you're still collecting information. You're still collecting about this man's dislike and likes. Because men absolutely understand the ability to hold something back. This is the reason why I can tell you right now, married 20 years, and I still don't know everything about my husband. He always surprises me with a story that happened in his childhood and I didn't know nothing about. That's how men understand the concept. Women, you need to also. Pedestal wives, you need to also. Okay. Yes, your own room, you decorate your time. It's a great thing. Yes, I'm so excited. I'm excited about getting the opportunity to decorate my next space. I've been picking out stuff because I also decorate my husband's office, and then I'm decorating my next space already. I'm looking at Pinterest and Etsy and figuring out how I want my space to be for YouTube because y'all going to see some changes up here soon. Please talk about sharing bathrooms and me and seeing you get ready. It feels a bit exposed to me. I think it takes away a mystery if you watch you primp, decorate yourself, or use the toilet. Well, y'all can, you can share bathrooms or decide not to, because I don't want to put that out there and people may not be able to that place in life where they can have separate bathrooms. But yes, that's actually a good idea. But normally what happens is I get up before he do, so I can do all those things before he does. And we tend to share a bathroom ourselves. We can use separate bathrooms because there's an extra bathroom in our home, but I like that bathroom. I like the master bedroom bathroom more than I like the other bathroom. So I tend to use that, but I just get up early and do all those things. So he's not even up. He's not up when I'm doing it. But that's a great point to do. You can do that. If y'all have the ability to make sure you have a separate place to get ready, do that, because I am thinking about taking more of like my makeup and all of my cutesy stuff, and I'm going to put it in my room where I record. I'm going to separate that so it's not in the same room as it's not in the same bathroom as his bathroom. Okay, if I want him to talk in person, I'll let him get into it and then I'll make excuse get off so he has more to say. Yes, what you just said. I use kids as excuse, but to do it be organic situation. Absolutely. Nothing wrong with organic situation. I prefer more of the organic situations to games than to make something up. Because I can tell you right now, I'm not a great liar. What I continue to do, I forget the lie. This is the reason I don't lie. I try to stick with something organic, something natural, something really happened. So I don't have to sit here and try to remember, did I lie about that? No. See, I don't promote lying on my page just because I can't remember a lie. And I can't be when one of the things I was taught as a little girl, if you tell a lie, you have to build on it and you have to remember it. And a lot of times I either mess up one of those two steps. I'm not a great liar. So I just stick to organic situations if you're like me. My husband never comes in while doing my makeup. He's trained from the beginning. Yeah, but my husband normally sleep when I do it. So, but I'm gonna remove myself from the area anyway when we move. When we move, I'm gonna set up my makeup area in with my recording area and basically have it separate. I have a basically what she's saying about separate bathroom. I have another bathroom that I'm going to use for things. But hey, we'll talk about it later on because I got some interesting stuff coming up on my page. Okay, y'all's questions are going fast. I've never been comfortable with the practice of a woman walking around naked around her husband and man. Okay, why not? If he's your husband, he's your husband, he's already seen everything anyway. You know. But that's your comfort. I'm not here to tell you you should or should not do. You all, any advice that I give you and it doesn't resonate, don't do it. It's just that simple. Do not do it. Because it's desensitizing at some point when she does it in a basic business like every day as opposed to when she's in a certain mindset and so got you. Okay, she explained herself. I was like, hold up. Why wouldn't you want to take off your stuff in front of your man and walk around a little naked, A little naked ain't never hurt nobody. But I get what she's saying. She's saying if you're walking around naked getting dressed, and it's like, okay, I'm not, he already knows nothing going down. You don't ruin the moment for him. So I get what you're saying, Pedestal Wife on YouTube. I get that. That's true. I wouldn't want to do that either. Usually when I do it, it's a teasing. It's a teasing. What's about to go down. But then I let's stay away from that subject. Let's stay away from that subject. Okay, let's go to Instagram because my YouTube pedestal wives have gotten a little spicy, got me thinking on another level. We're going to sit here and switch gears. If you're asking him questions over the phone and he doesn't go into depth, how do you get him to open up? Okay, I wouldn't ask you. I don't want you to ask the questions over the phone. I prefer you to do those face-to-face interactions. The reason for that, because you can kind of watch his expressions to see if it's like a trigger. That's something that he doesn't want to talk about. And then you'll know there's a reason for why he doesn't want to talk about it. But you need to respect his boundaries. If he doesn't want to talk about it, open up on the phone, you have to respect his boundaries. If you want to build trust with him, you can go, oh, okay, that must be something sensitive. Let's move on. You don't have to answer that. That's what you need to say. You need to respect that man's boundaries to build trust because he's not going to open up to you if he doesn't trust you. And you need to build trust. I don't know if you've been with me for a while, but I've done videos on how to build trust very fast with a man. And you get him to answer questions. He doesn't even know he's giving away his blueprint. Yeah. All right. So do you have any questions, any more questions? But keep your mysterious juju. It is going to help you in your longevity in your relationship, in your, having a long-term relationship or a marriage. It's going to help you build curiosity. Remember, it's not just about the game. It's keeping this man in pursuit. As long as he's curious about you, as long as he's like, I wonder what she's thinking. I wonder what she's doing. I wonder, how she's going to react to this. As long as he has that unpredictability about you, he's going to want to pursue. When he stops having that, that's where the problems start about a man pursuing. This is the reason why women have so many problems. They're like, oh, he doesn't want to bring me flowers. He don't want to take me on a date. He don't call me. He don't do any of these things. He's like, I'm not even there to him. He's not there to you because of the fact that somewhere along the line, you lost your mysterious juju. When dating a man, how regularly should you spend with him in the first 12 months? In the first 12 months, that's an intuition-based question. You have to determine how much time you're going to spend with them. But if you're dating multiple people, you're not as concerned. You only concern yourself about these multiple people when you're trying to limit and figure out which one you're going to start focusing on for husband. He's courting, then he's husband. Then I should focus on this guy and see how it's going. But since you're dating multiple people, you're not concerned about spending time. It's basically when you're dating multiple people, it's more about, okay, make the best man win. Made the best man want to spend more time with me and get to know me. Made the best man want to bond with me and want to get to put a ring on it. That is the barometer that you need to have. We're not worried about how much time you spend with them. Uh, Spend the time that he's pursuing to spend with you, the time that he wants to spend with you. But you're not concerned about the dates in the first months and none of that stuff. That stuff doesn't matter unless he's courting. Unless you're courting, y'all are courting each other, whatever, then it matters. Then it absolutely matters about how much time y'all spending together, how fast y'all relationship is moving. Is he going to propose? When is that going to go down? Then it matters. Yes, only naked to tease, not making nakedness so common. Lingerie is a different story, though. Absolutely, nothing wrong with y'all. That should definitely be in your bag. That should definitely be a part of your flirting uh, personality, your persona. That should definitely be a part of that. So definitely use it. It helps and works for him to be like, oh, I wonder, what she's doing today, especially the lingerie tip. Because she was the YouTube pedestal wife is talking about the lingerie. She's giving a very good tip. You might want to check that out. All right. Can you explain a balance of being mysterious and having good communication? Okay. When you're having good communication, it is based off your intuition. Every woman has that gut feeling or timing when they feel like they need to give them more. And that's what you're going to do. If something happened, let's say, for instance, someone disrespected you. If someone disrespected you, you're going to tell the entire story. You want to make sure that you have good communication there. If something major is happening in a relationship, you want to communicate. Mysterious juju is keeping him interested, making sure that he doesn't know. When you're talking about mysterious juju, it is more about keeping him curious about you. Communication, you want to make sure you communicate things about the relationship, about how's it going, how you're not giving your facts about certain things, because I lean towards more facts than opinion. And the reason I do that, that helps to play into my mysterious juju. When a man can't say, oh, this is how she feel about it, that is her opinion about it, you lose a little bit of your mysterious juju. You can still communicate, but make sure we're communicating on important matters only. We're just not, see, the thing is, when I talk about mysterious juju, and the reason I thought it was a very good topic is because women give away too much. You've told him too much about your life story and your past, how you feel about things, your opinions, and that gives your blueprint away. So communication, make sure you communicate the things that are important. Make sure you communicate the things that he needs to know. Let's not try to be mysterious to the point when he doesn't and you don't communicate that you don't like the girlfriend title. Let's say you've been following my platform. I tell you, don't fall in the trap of being a girlfriend. It's a dead end relationship. And you don't communicate that because you want to be mysterious. See, that is not the right avenue to take. See, use your intuition. Remember, it's all about timing. Use your gut feeling about when you need to communicate something about the relationship that's important. Like, hey, I don't believe in girlfriend or boyfriend titles. That type of relationship isn't for me. I really want to be a wife. That's what I want for myself. Make sure. So good communication. That is a great question. Pedestal Wife on Instagram gave me. That is a very great question, because you need to make sure you balance it out where your mysterious juju is there and you're still mysterious. He doesn't know everything that happened when you were in seventh grade or everything that happened when you were a little girl, but you ever communicate what you want. You ever communicate what you need from him. So make sure you do not, get off balance with that. Getting off the phone first is one of the things that always has worked for me. Yes, absolutely. Getting off the phone first, saying you have something to do, you're busy. That is a good tactic. Now, if he wants to talk, let him talk. Y'all, I'm never against a man talking. Like I'm all when a man start talking and he's telling me all of his juicy, important facts about himself and all this stuff, I'm all ears. I'm listening because I know good and well when you're not talking as much and you're listening, you're getting all that important information that you need. You need to file away for later. You never know what a man is going to tell you that you're going to need for later on. And another tip before I go, today. Another tip is for about mysterious juju. Let's not forget that looking good does play into being mysterious. And the reason it does is because when men are behind you, when he know other men desire you, he is going to be a little bit more curious about how you're spending your time, how where you're at, what you're doing. Now, of course, let's not be silly. We need to make sure we watch for the signs that this man is abusive, or he is trying to be controlling. Yeah, we need to watch for those signs too. But it should inspire that. That's the reason why looking good does matter. Looking good absolutely does matter. One of the things that happened to me very recently is I have a place that I go mail letters at that I pay for them to ship off my stuff within 2 days and pack everything up, because y'all, I like my life easy. So yes, I do pay people to do things like that for me. And since I am a feminine businesswoman, I have to get that done. And I go in here all the time, and I'm always nice, but I don't really talk. I'm not one, like I said, I know how men are always curious about a woman if she isn't talkative. So I don't really talk. I be polite, like, yes, thank you. And I be all those things. And I took my husband in there this past weekend to mail some letters off for me. And he was just standing behind me. And the dude asked him, he's like, this dude talks nonstop when I come in. Let me tell you this, these guys are so comfortable when they get around a woman who's not super talkative and that she's genuinely interested in what they're saying, that they talk about everything. I know about this guy. He done filed bankruptcy. He needs help with his credit. And I didn't ask any of these questions. I not once opened up my mouth and said, okay, what's going on? No, I never did any of that. People think that the way of getting people to open up is talking too much and asking a lot of questions. That doesn't work. And my husband was standing behind me, and I was sitting here, paying for the letters. And the dude asked him behind me, he's like, are you with her? And my husband was like, yes, I'm with her. He said, she must be a freaking good woman for you to claim her. And I was like, I kind of did my like blush thing and looked down. And he said, yeah, I said it. And I was like, thank you. And I guess he thought I was going to do the basic Becky stuff. And I was like, oh, thank you. So, not my way. Calm, cool, thank you. And I smiled. And every time I go in there, he's still talkative, super talkative. Baby, sooner or later, he's going to be giving his bank account number to me. Because that is how men treat me. They're always trying to find out more about me, or trying to find out what I think or how I feel, because I don't give anything away. I learned mysterious juju a long time ago. All right, so how do you get a man open up in person when he's a reserved person? If a man is a reserved person, respect him being reserved. Show that you build trust with this man, and then he'll open up. If he's reserved, you ask him a question, say, okay, well, it's okay. You don't have to answer that, and he's going to respect you for that. And that's going to build trust. Listening is super big with men. If you want to build trust with a man very easily, listen to what he's saying. I want you to just do it and experiment, you all. It's so easy. I do it all the time not that I want to test anything, because I'm very happy over here where I am. But I do it all the time to see if it works on men, as it's continuing to work on men. And I have, you got to do a little experimentation to see if it works. So what I do, I normally be like, hello, because I don't mind saying good morning, good afternoon, how are you doing? And I smile, and I let that person take it from there. Listen to what they're saying and be genuinely interested. So when he's talking, ask him a question about the topic that he's on. Don't change the subject. Don't change the topic. Don't try to get him to talk about something else. Let him continue talking, feed into that. Keep asking open-ended questions, so he can't say yes or no. He has to actually explain himself and keep talking, and continue to listen. And you'll build trust with a person very easily. I do it every single day of my life. And this also helps me get little perks, because guys are like, hey, I want to pay for this for you, or hey, I want to do for this for you, because in their real lives, women don't listen. And I've learned the value of listening to men. Baby, if you do it right, they'll give you their entire life story. If a man isn't talking to you, it is because he doesn't trust you, and he just doesn't want to talk to you. So that is how you get him to talk. Keep asking questions on the subject that he loves to talk about, and let him talk. And be genuinely interested. If there's a place in the conversation to laugh at it, giggle at it. Make sure he can get the vibe from you that you're interested in what he's talking about. When I go up to that store, he's always talking about his personal business. And I just listen. I don't give him advice. I don't tell him what he can and cannot do. I just listen. And he appreciates that. So when I go in there, he gives me discounts off of my business account so I can get stuff mailed for free. And, it works out. Braille, have you heard the term breadcrumbing? Should we implement this? Breadcrumbing, if I'm not mistaken, because I don't keep up with all the slang and all of the new words that people have for stuff, because it seems like people create stuff daily about how to say something. So I'm thinking breadcrumbing, is that where you give a little bit of yourself to that person a little bit at a time? It's like little breadcrumbs, and you just leave a little bit out on the table, and you decide when you're gonna put one out. If that is it, then if that's what that is, then yes, that is appropriate for what I'm talking about. That is going to help you keep that mysterious juju. Can you please explain to the newbies what open-ended questions are? I think I just answered it. Hopefully I did. But open-ended questions is the person can't just say yes or no to that. Like you said, do you want to go to this restaurant? And this person says yes or no. That's not open-ended. When you're talking about open-ended, you could be like, well, how do you feel about this restaurant? And let them talk about it. That is an open-ended question. And you want to use tons of those. When you're in your first dates, use open-ended questions. Do not use questions where he can say yes or no, because you want him to keep talking. The key to building a man's trust is for you to listen. And women are so confused and not like, okay, is that it? Yes. That's one of the keys to building trust is listening, respecting his boundaries, and that's going to help you build trust with him immediately. I have a hard time balancing mysteries, often confused as me being disinterested. Okay, that's because when you are, that's the communication piece. That's what another pastor wife brought up about communication. You have to, even if you're going to be mysterious juju, this is the reason one of the things I do, I make sure I give a piece of my blueprint. And, I judge it based off my intuition. It's all about time and when I should give it. If you feel like that he is pulling away and you feel like it's because he's in disinterest in you, then you need to give a piece of your blueprint away. This means you need to give him something that is going to make you vulnerable to him. And that's going to make sure he realizes that you're not disinterested. Yeah, but I agree. It is somewhat of a balancing act to make sure that you don't come off as though you're disinterested, don't care, unbothered, don't like that person, and still mysterious juju. But usually you can balance it out with just giving a piece of your blueprint according to the timing. Just pay attention to where you feel like that, okay, he's giving a lot to me. Let's say, okay, let's go ahead and put it in terms that's going to be more helpful, because y'all know I try to be as helpful as I possibly can. So let's say he's talking constantly. He's giving everything away. Y'all done been on 3 dates. He's constantly talking. You know everything about him, but he knows nothing about you. Then on that third date, then it's okay to give him something about you. You're going to open up, be vulnerable, so he knows that you're not disinterested. And when I say pick that piece of your blueprint where it's still not, that it's not harmful to you. Because I would say, if you're going to give a piece of your blueprint away to a man, make sure at this point, especially in the very beginning, it is something you have healed from. If you feel emotional or you feel like you get choked a little bit when you're talking about it, don't give it to him. That's not the right thing to give. Give those things that you have healed over first for your blueprint, especially in the beginning, because then you can take little pieces of that as you go into that relationship and you're building. We're looking for longevity in a relationship. We're looking for long term. We're looking for happiness. We're looking for juiciness. We're looking for, for attraction in a relationship. You want curiosity to be there for a man. If a man is not curious about you, there's no pursuit. He's not going to pursue a woman he's not curious about. So usually that's what's going on when he says you're disinterested. You're not communicating. You're not being vulnerable enough for he's like, okay, I don't know if she want me. I don't know if she dislike me. I don't know if she like me. I'm confused here. How do you not give him information about us when we ask in person? I think I've answered that question before, but I'm gonna answer it just one more time. I feel like you're new to my platform. What you do, you just revert it back to him. You give it back to him. He asks you about, oh, okay, what happened with your ex? You can ask him, what happened to your ex? Did I know that you're handsome. I bet, did it go well? Is she still trying to track you down? I can just tell right now she's still after you. Like, be playful with it. You don't have to be combative. You don't have to be argumentative. Just flip the question back to him and throw a compliment in there too. That works also for him to be like, okay, she's kind of impressed with me a little bit. What, how, when, where, and tell me how are you start open-ended questions. Okay, you answered your question, Pastor Wife, on YouTube. That is how you start open-ended questions. Open-ended questions, it just means that it's not a yes or no answer. You're not looking for him to say yes or no. You're looking for him to explain himself or have, talk about it. So you can use any of those to start an open-ended question. If you asking me out, what was your weekend like? That is not a yes or no question. He has to, explain himself and talk a little bit more about it. How do you feel about the dinner? How do you feel about your meal? That is not a yes or no question. He has to talk about the meal. So you can use what, how, when, where in order to create an open-ended question for him. Yes, it's definitely going to take some practice in adjusting. Yes, this does take some practice in adjusting, but you can do it. You absolutely can. Remember, transformation and reinvention should be happening daily. What happens is people get complacent and they don't do that. They don't realize that reinvention and should be happening daily, and they get complacent in their lifestyle. So I want you to learn to reinvent yourself and be mysterious and implement all these little things that's going to help you have a long-term, healthy, happy relationship. Okay, yeah. Okay, y'all are talking to each other. I'm gonna let y'all go on that. You're right. I don't open up easily. Yeah. Y'all, I don't, if y'all can tell, and because I created the process, that's the reason why I created it, because I have issues on opening up easily to people, period. I am one of those people, I have to get to know you and all these things. So this kind of comes easier more to my personality. And I know it must be adjustment if you're one of those people that you open up easy. You're just a happy-go-lucky person. I'm happy too, but I'm just kind of like more reserved. So it's easier for me to pull back and just be mysterious. I don't like to be vulnerable, but I'll try, LOL. Yeah, try. That's gonna help him not see you as disinterested, because that's what happened. He just saw you as being disinterested and he didn't know if you liked him or don't. And men like to kind of have an idea that you do like them before they pursue. Okay, so y'all are still talking to each other. I'm so happy about that. Y'all are helping each other out. Yeah. So that, just try that to see if it's going to help. And what I suggest is, since you don't, you kind of like to hold your cards close to your chest, you don't like to be vulnerable, try to use something that is not going to make you vulnerable. Like I said before, try to give him something that emotions are not attached to, so it's easier for you to open up about it. If you need to go simple and be basic, do that to start off, and then you can grow over time. Let him earn your trust. Let him earn his place in your life, and then you can be more vulnerable as you go along in the relationship. Right now, you all give a little bit, but you want to make sure that he's picking up every breadcrumb that you put out. He's steadily picking up. He's steady pursuing. He's steady curious about you. This is the power of being mysterious. This is the power of being a feminine woman. All right. So if there are no more questions, okay, I'm going to get ready to go. Tomorrow, please make sure you're here for that stream. We're going to talk about, is unbothered the same as being a confident woman? And then we're going to talk about how, if, I'm going to give some tips on how to be a confident woman. Okay, so YouTube and Pedestal Wives, they're over there just talking and giving each other some tips, which I love. Y'all know I love a community of women who help each other. Okay, that's what this community is all about. So I'm going to get ready to go. I'm going to give you a second to drop anything before we go. Make sure you join me tomorrow. Thank you, Pedestal Wives. Thank you, ladies, for joining me today. I appreciate it so much. And I will see you all on tomorrow. Same time, same place. Y'all have a great day. Make sure you get out and enjoy it. Life is worth living. And spending time with a man every week too much. Okay. To him spending time, I don't think so. It depends. What are you trying to go for? Is this the guy that you're trying to, are y'all courting? It depends on what phase you're in. If you're courting this guy, then no, you should be spending as much time as you possibly can with him. But if you're dating him and you haven't chosen him as the one that you know is gonna, pop that question and go the distance with you, then yes, you're spending too much time with him. You should be dating others. Yeah, so that question just, based off the process you're in. If you're in a dating process, the courting process, or the marriage process. If you're in the dating, then yes, you should not be spending that much time with one guy. You should be spreading your time out to all the rest of the guys and going on dates. All right, so I don't see anything else. And I have actually been, messing with my productions here. He keeps trying to cut me off, but every time I say I'm getting ready to go, and then another question pop up, he's like, "You ready?" No, not yet. I'll give y'all a moment, and then we're gonna go. But y'all have a great day. Make sure that you do something. Live life. Life is worth living. Get out here, date. So, because if you don't go on dates, you can't date, you can't marry, you can't get courted. If you're seeing 3 guys a week, can you see them every week? That's what I mean. Yeah. If you're seeing 3 guys, that's perfect because you got plenty of information you're gathering. Dating is for information. It's not about how many dates you go on. It's not about having fun. If you're dating with a purpose, you're dating, get married. You're dating for information. You're dating to figure out which guy is going to go the distance with you. And that's going to give you more information to file away. And you need that because you don't want to make a decision based off spending time with one guy. You want to spend time with all 3 of them as much as you possibly can so you can figure out which guy is going to go the distance, which guy is going to make an excellent husband, which guy is going to make an excellent father, which guy is going to give me what I want and what I need. So hopefully I answered that question. And ladies and gents, yeah, because there's a guy in here. I'm going to get ready to go to lunch. And I will see you all on tomorrow. Make sure you join me. Same time, same place. Y'all have a great one.